Hello everyone, I am the Shaz here with another video, this time describing how I manage my budget free-to-play Love Live All-Stars account. If you're brand new to All-Stars, this video is probably for you. For a lot of you veteran players, this video probably isn't for you as this is information you know already. For a lot of you whales, this video definitely isn't for you, but thanks for clicking on the video anyway. In this video, we're going to go over how I would start a stronger free-to-play account, how I farm star gems, how I navigate events, how I handle items like candies and scouting tickets, the only banners I pull on, and when I pull on them. Alright, let's start off with how I would create a brand new account if I'm new to All-Stars. I'll actually use the example of my current mostly free-to-play account. I did something in the gacha world known as rerolling. In All-Stars, this involves the creation of a new account, using the initial set of star gems for 2 10 rolls, and if I didn't pull any of the stronger cards, repeating this process until I did pull one of the stronger cards. For my free-to-play account, I rerolled 8 times before I pulled the initial Kanon UR, the best score in the game when it first released, and 2 copies of the initial Kotori UR, which means she was at limit break 1. In All-Stars, pulling multiple copies of a card isn't a bad thing. In fact, it's actually quite good. This is what we mean by limit breaking a card. Pulling a 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, or 6th copy of a card means you unlock these tile nodes that, when you use macarons on them, make the card stronger by increasing any of the card's base stats or unlocking extra skill nodes. In addition, if you look at the bottom of any card in its practice screen, you will see this bar right here, which shows the rewards you get for unlocking X amount of tiles on that particular card. This is another way for you to farm gems. For all cards, you get 10 gems for doing a full tile unlock for the first copy of a card you pull, 10 gems for doing the full tile unlock after the 3rd copy, and 20 gems for unlocking all tiles after you pull the 6th copy or a max limit broken card. At this point of the game, the pool of URs, the highest rarity card in the game, is much larger than when we started, so the process of rerolling may take a bit longer if you are looking to start with a desired card or cards. Most of the rerolling guides currently on YouTube by other All-Stars content creators are still valid, as you will do well to grab one of these URs. Initial Kanon, Initial Ruby, Initial Maki, or Initial Umi are all great scores with helpful passive abilities from the first batch of URs. In addition, if you are pulling on a regular All-Stars banner right now, these cards will help as well. Archer Umi, or Umi 2, Fairy Ellie, or Ellie 2, Cat Hoodie Rin, or Rin 2, Miracle Voyage Shizuku, or Shizuku 1, and Parade Hanayo, or Pana 3. I normally wouldn't pull on this type of banner to start a fresh account, but if you're itching to play the game right now, those are the cards I'd hope to pull in a scout. However, if you're willing to be patient, I would wait to pull on the fest banners that happen at the end of the month, and I'll explain why a little later in the video. Next, let's talk about how I farm star gems, going from easiest, then increasing in difficulty. The easiest way to farm star gems is by doing your daily quests. Both the daily and weekly quests, at this time, can only be completed by doing live shows. Doing them in the story does not count towards these goals. To be completely obvious, completing your daily quest means you will earn 70 gems per week. You can see what your daily quests are by clicking in the Goals tab on the home screen. Next, we continue on with the weekly quests. By completing these, you will earn an additional 80 gems per week. For those that are confused by a couple of the weekly quests, let me help you out. The quest that says use skills that gain voltage requires you to use a card that has this tap active ability. So look for cards that have this icon in the bottom corner when you're looking at your team screen. You are going to need to use this card in your main strategy, so make sure you have that taken care of before you start your live. Some of the more common cards that have this skill: Nico 1, Mari 1, Initial SR Ellie, Initial SR Hanayo, Initial SR Ruby, Initial SR Kasumi, Initial SR Rina, And if you're really desperate, initial R Honoka, initial R Rin, initial R Daya, initial R Mari, initial R Karen, and initial R I. For the quest that says use skills that increase stamina, you're going to need to use a card that has this skill, so look to use those in your main strategy like the voltage skill. The cards with this skill include Ellie 1, Yo 1, Yohane 2, Ayumu 1, Rina 1, initial SR Umi, initial SR Daya, initial SR Ayumu, and again, if you're truly desperate, initial R Nozomi, initial R Ruby, and initial R Rina. Now, the rest of the gem farming gets a little tougher. Outside of the daily and weekly quests, the easiest way to farm gems is by completing all of the story missions. Every chapter you read gives you 10 gems, and every live you S-rank in the story also nets you 10 gems. Outside of the first couple chapters, every chapter will have between 200 and 300 gems you can farm by completing the story, so try to do this after you've completed your daily and weekly quests. In addition, completing certain chapters nets you extra gems as well. If you complete the entire story up until now, that's an extra 50 gems. After the story, it's time to play through as many live shows as you can to achieve an S-rank score. When you S-rank a song for the first time, you receive 10 gems. At the time of this recording, there are 42 songs, so if you are able to S-rank each song on every difficulty, that's 1260 gems. As a note, when new temporary songs come out, do try to S-rank every difficulty that you can. When the song comes out with an attribute version with the next story update, you can re-farm the song for more gems. After you're done playing through as much of the story as you can, the next easiest way to farm gems is by bond levels. Bond levels are determined by how many cards of that idol you own. They also increase if you pull the 2nd through 6th copy of a card as well. Every time you play alive in any mode with that idol in it, their bond level increases. For every 10 bond levels an idol gains, you get star gems as a reward. At bond level 10, you get 10 gems. At level 20, you get 15 gems. At level 30, you get 20 gems. Level 40, you get 30 gems, etc. You can see what you get for bond levels by clicking the reward section on the idol in the episode listing. As a tip, while I don't advocate for using skip tickets unless you've S-ranked a song on advanced difficulty, if you are able to and want to use your skip tickets, create a team of cards that you don't use in your main lineups so that you can farm their bond level this way. These are the idols whose bond I am farming on my free-to-play account. Especially during events, this allows me to not only farm bond, but event points as well. Speaking of events, this is another often overlooked part of gem farming. Whenever marathon type events, such as the current one on Global, occur, let me take you through my thought process. I first go to the reward screen and look for the last point tier that gives out gems as a reward. I set that as my end of event goal. I then look to see how many gem rewards there are and what the total count of gems looks like if I farm all of them. For this particular event, you can gain 190 gems just by tiering. This doesn't even include the extra gems you get by completing these event quests, which are easy to do. Now, to tie back to bond farming, I can combine tier point farming, bond level farming, and song title farming by adding in all of the tier point bonus cards in with the cards I'm trying to bond farm while using skip tickets, and I am able to work on 3 goals at once. Efficiency! I do try to play on advanced difficulty as much as I can during events, as this is some of the highest event point per LP ratios that you can get. It is not only for this, but also an attempt to farm good accessories as well. Accessories are one of your keys to making your cards stronger in this game, though you do need to do some work and get lucky before they get very, very strong. The last thing I will say about marathon events is this. This is where you should be using your candies. By using your candies during events, you are then able to turn those candies into gems. The only time I would ever advocate for using gems to refill LP is if you are at the end of the event, and only if you need a few more clears of a song to get enough event points to get you that last tier point gems reward. It does cut into your gem profit for the event, but I'll always be willing to use 10 gems to gain 50. Now, you may be saying, Shaz, what about exchange events? Well, for exchange events, I do things a little bit differently. What I'm about to describe is by no way the most efficient way to go about exchange events, but this is how I do it. The first thing I do is stock up on enough event items to exchange for the event UR, as that gives the highest bonus to your event item drop rate. After getting the event UR, I then save up enough items to get each of the event SRs. By this point, I have all of these cards in each of my teams, as I have separate teams for each song attribute. Next, I exchange items in the shop for candies, and finally, I exchange for gems. After that, anything in the exchange shop is just a bonus. I do tend to go for the second copy of event SRs after I do my gem exchange so that I can increase bond levels for farming, though at this point, you can pretty much do anything you want. Lastly, now that we've talked for over 1500 words about farming gems, let's get to actually spending them. Mind you, what I'm about to say is specifically tailored for those of you who are more invested in playing and learning the game rather than only getting copies of your best girl. My advice for a free-to-play account? I am only pulling on fest banners, and only after I have saved 12,500 gems. Why 12,500 gems? 12,500 gems allows you to do something in All-Stars called sparking. This means that if you do 25 10x pulls on a single banner, the shiny quartz that you get for doing these pulls can be exchanged in the item shop for one of the highlighted UR. This is important as you are not guaranteed to pull a highlighted UR from a banner, even if it does have a higher percentage chance to be pulled. Most of you know this, as rate up is a lie. Yes, farming 12.5k gems is going to take you a long time, but if you are diligent, the payoff will be worth it. Once you get close to those 12.5k gems, look at the next fest banner that is slated to come out. Does it have cards you want? Great! Go ahead and do your pulls. Hopefully, you get the desired card. Why do I only pull on fest banners? The reason for only pulling on fest banners is that there is a set of strong cards that only appears on these banners and nowhere else, in addition to the entire regular pool of cards. This means if I am lucky, I will be getting the most bang for my buck when it comes to rolling for cards. Also, the release of the Fest banner coincides with the update of the regular All-Stars banner, which means all the event gacha cards from the past month are in the Fest pool as well. Now, what do you do as a free-to-play player if you get your desired Fest card early, say within the first 5 10x pulls? Well, it's really up to you. If it were me, I would probably stop and save my 10k-ish gems and hope I can save up enough for another Fest banner in the near future. The same would be true for me personally if I am all the way up to about 8 to 11 10x pulls. However, once you get around the halfway point, it's really up to you. If you pull the card you're looking for between 10x pull number 11 to 13, you can decide to either spark or save. The choice is yours. Past that, my suggestion is to empty the gem bank and spark a copy of one of the Fest URs. Now, as far as my mostly free-to-play account, the reason why it is a mostly free-to-play account is because I do spend a small amount of money every month for paid gems whenever a Fest banner releases to do daily paid gem pulls. Unless there is a special deal in the shop, I normally purchase this pack, which is 120 paid gems for $6.99. I will just do daily paid gem pulls on the Fest banner, and that's it. Any leftover daily paid gems I will save until the next Fest banner. Even if it is a minuscule chance to pull a UR from the daily paid gems, it doesn't mean it hasn't ever been done. At the very least, you'll be able to limit break some of your R cards, which can allow you to farm more gems if you have the materials. As far as scouting tickets go, it's really up to you when you want to pull them. Personally, I pull scouting tickets after the Fest banners come out so that I have a larger pool of cards to choose from. A lot of times, if you have some of these scouting tickets and you see a card from either an event gacha or a spotlight gacha you want, you can pull your tickets after your fest pulls if you don't get the card there. If you don't want to pull them, you don't have to. The tickets never expire, they just reset with a new pool of cards. And that does it. My video on how I manage my mostly free-to-play All-Stars account. If you enjoyed the video and would like to support my work, you can share the video with some of your fellow Love Live All-Stars players, click the subscribe button here on YouTube, follow or subscribe to me on Twitch over at twitch.tv/IamTheShaz. You can subscribe for free once a month with Twitch Prime if you have an Amazon Prime account linked to your Twitch account, or join my Twitch channel Discord server. Links are in the description below. For those of you wondering when I stream on Twitch, my normal schedule is Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 7:30 to 10:30 p.m. PST, Saturdays from 6 to 9 p.m. PST, and Sundays from 5 to 9 p.m. PST. I invite you all to come hang out as we talk a lot of All-Stars, general Love Live topics, and occasionally watch meme videos and old Love Live Nikonamas. First things first, a big thanks to Zifrid for the new channel logo and for my new Twitch screens. As always, a big thanks to my Twitch subs, Minomone, 86Romy, GhostStalker_88, Shut It, again to Minomone for gifting a sub to Faith LZ, and again to 86Romy for gifting a sub to Albert. If you have future video suggestions or anything to say about the video in general, please leave a comment down below and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching everyone, take it easy, I'll see you guys next time.